Hi, this is Chris Charles, EverydayVBA. In this video, we're going to be doing the solution to the guessing game. Now, this is a two-part series that we're going to do for Macro Monday. The first one is basically just building the guts, and then the next part will be basically finishing it out. So in this video, what we're going to do is we're basically creating a number guesser where you basically, it picks a number, and we're going to basically do a message box that says, are you right or are you wrong? And we're going to set the minimum maximum, we're going to set up the variables, and then what we're going to do next week is we're going to basically complete this whole thing so that it would basically be kind of like a finished product. So we're going to dig right in, and without further ado, we're going to call this SubGuess. So first thing we need to do is we need to come up with our the number that the computer has guessed, and the easiest way to do that is rand. And so this is going to be G is equal to rand. I think it's RND, that's what it is. We're going to make that an int, and really what I'm doing is I'm forcing this to be a whole number, and that's going to be 1 through whatever, and we are going to do times 100. Now in the next week what we'll do is we'll clean this up a little bit, and we will actually in cleaning this up we will use some variables here. Alright, so what we need to do is we need to come in here. Now we've got G, which is going to be the number that we're guessing, and really we're going to guess a number from 1 to 10, and we're going to give you tries. So TR is equal to, we're going to give you 10 tries to figure this out. And so what we need to do is we need to do a loop, do while TR is greater than 0. And I'm going to do a do loop. You could actually do this. You could do this with a for loop just as easy. I thrown in a do loop just because sometimes I usually don't use do loops, and so it's good just to go back and just show you guys how to do a do loop. Because typically what happens is when you start coding, you're going to start coding do loops first anyway. So we're going to tr equals tr minus 1, and now we've got our loop ready. So now what we need to do is we need to ask for a guess. So this is going to be input I is equal to input box, enter a number between, gotta spell right, between 1 and 100. Okay. What we're going to need to do on this one is we're going to have to actually change this a little bit because we're going to need to basically move those variables up, but I want to get it running first, and then we'll basically dig into that. And then we need an if I is equal to G, then we're going to do something, right? So we're going to exit the do, and we're going to do a message box. MsgBox, congrats. You guessed the number. Okay, now we also need to do an else, which basically means that they did not select the number, and we may want to do something. So let's just run through this real quick. We got a random number. I know that random number, oh, I gotta do this. That's funny. I was forcing it to be random, so it would have actually either been, that wouldn't have worked. So I'm gonna take that random, times it by 100. So we've got 53, which is great. I've got 3 tries to figure this out. Enter a number between 1 and 100. So I'm gonna just type in 53 because I know that that's correct. And then it's gonna say, are these equal? It's going to say that it's not, which means it's because you notice those quotes right there. So you've got quotes, and then you've got a number. So one is forcing that to be a text, and the other one is an integer. So all we're going to do on that is we're just going to go val, which forces that to be a value, and then we will have guessed it correct. You guessed correct, and then we exit the do, and we're fine. So now what we need to do is we need to basically have a upper and lower what our guess points are. So And really what that's going to do is when we come in here, instead of having 1, we're just going to shrink that down so that every time we guess, we're able to guess that smaller and smaller, so eventually you can guess the right number. So we're going to have min is equal to 0, max is equal to 100, and then what we're going to do is we're going to chop this up here, and we're going to go and min and I'm hoping that min and max aren't taking characters or constants, because if they are, then it's going to say you can't do that like that. It's going to be really mad. Okay, and max. Okay, enter between 1 and, which is exactly what we wanted. I'm going to go 5, and you'll notice that my guess is 57. I put in 5, and so now what we need to do is we need to basically come in here and change our min. So we need to go if val of I is greater than min, then min equals val of I. And all that is that's a single line if statement. And we're going to go if val of I is greater than min and val of I is less than max. It's got to be greater than your min, but it also has to be your val of I needs to be less than your G, which is your guess. And then what you're going to do is you're going to reset your min value. So now we just need to do the same thing for max, switch our characters around, test it, and we will be done. So, all right, so we got this. Everybody's happy. If it is less than max and greater than, so now we've got that set up. So let's go ahead and go through here. So we've got our I, which is 5, it's greater than 0, and it's less than our G. So we're going to set our min value. Notice right here I got to reset up my max value, which is great. And then we're going to go through this again. We're going to take another guess, and you'll notice that it changes from 5 to 500. So we're going to go, I'm going to go 60. I'm going to click OK. And then we're going to go through this right here, and we're going to, what that did is we changed our max. So what we're doing is it's shrinking it down smaller and smaller. So I'm going to type in 50. We're going to run it, and what I'm going to do now it's between 50 and 55. 50. We're going to go 57, and I guessed the number, and we are good to go. So what we're going to do here is we're actually going to go exit. We're going to make one change here because we're going to go exit sub, which will kick you all the way out of the sub, or all the way out of the procedure, and we need to do a message box here that says sorry, you didn't guess it. Guess the number, and we're going to go and G. All right, so let's give this a shot. We're going to go 1, 2, 5, 6, 89, 4, 5, 7, 5, and all I'm trying to do here is just get basically to the end. Sorry you didn't guess it. You guessed the number 28. Now I'll leave this code in there so you can play with it, mess with it. But this is really phase 1. We're going to do phase 2 next week, and we will go from there. I hope you enjoyed.